Hello, I'm Steven, the calculator guy, and today we're going to talk about a set of interesting stablecoin plays. This is not a comprehensive list, it's just a few that I think are interesting and that I don't mind sharing. If you want more, of course, go ahead and join the DeFi Dojo Discord. We talk about stablecoin plays, delta neutral plays, and other strategies all day long. And it's a great place to be. I think it is the best Discord in all of DeFi, but of course, I'm biased. Anyways, let's jump into it. The first one is Gains DAI. So you probably know about this one. It's not the most interesting. It's at 6% on DAI, but it's been super consistent and it has experienced virtually no loss. So it's a nice, slow burn, and it ranges between like 6 and 20%. It is what it is. Gains is making some improvements, so hopefully they'll bring in some more TVL, and this may see a little bit of increase. I'll leave it at that. The next one is Sturdy. So Sturdy is slightly more interesting. I think it would be even more interesting if this page loaded. But basically, Sturdy is a borrowing and lending platform. Let me switch over to the Ethereum mainnet. So it will load. You can see that there are roughly 6.11% APYs on lending your stablecoins, but if you go over to deposit and you see the LPs that can act as collateral, what you can do with these is you can actually loop them. So if you click, these are stablecoin LPs, by the way. So you will be exposed to the two stables, for in this case, Frax and USDC, or in this case, SUSD, USDT, USDC, and DAI. So you would click deposit, you would click use leverage, and then you can use as much leverage as you want and get up to 15% completely organic yield. So all of that is straight from Curve, which is really cool. Liquidation penalty exists, and you can see all of the other metrics there. So that's Sturdy. Also, if the utilization goes up on these will skyrocket, and that does happen quite frequently. So these are not unusually in the 20s to 30% when utilization goes high. So do keep that in mind. If you just want to diversify some sort of safer stables, you can get between 5 and 30%, probably an average of around 12% on these somewhat consistently. And then, of course, you can loop Curve Frax or Curve SUSD, leverage, up to, not bad, 8.4. Pika. This one's high risk. I'm going to explain why. So Pika effectively makes you a counterparty to the trades on their leverage trading platform. So when traders win, you lose. When traders lose, you win. And traders historically have done pretty well on Pika because they host some exotic assets like Ape. And they also had Luna during the crash. People made a lot of money off that. And the USDC vault did very poorly. More recently, with the new version of Pika, traders have been losing, vaults have been winning, and they also got an incentive package from OP. So it's currently about 50% in OP, 10% in USDC, and it's a higher risk play for sure, but it's another stablecoin play that I think is interesting amongst a bunch of others. This is not a no risk or low risk play. It is not risk-free. There is a non-zero chance that traders win big and that you lose some initial capital. Do keep that in mind. Pemrock. Pemrock is a lending platform on the Near ecosystem. So I talked about this in my Near video, but it's worth a re-mention. Currently paying 20% on USN, 16% on USDT, and that's really the only two stables there. Both of these very compelling in my opinion, and rewards are paid out weekly. So you would have to sell these rewards presumably on refinance or ref finance weekly. So there's going to be weekly dumps, but that's okay. So pretty good, I think. APRs here, or APYs here, and in terms of lending single side, very low risk, I like this risk reward. Conversely, on the menace chain, there's Teddies. You can get around 21% APR just by staking your USDC and getting XUSDC, which is interest bearing. USDC, you can see it's already 8% up historically, and that's about it. If the utilization goes to 100%, you may be locked in for a bit. If this protocol accrues bad debt, you may experience loss. So do keep those things in mind. Generally speaking, I think this is a safer version or way to get some decent APR. This was at 40% earlier. I did do a Twitter post about it, and then it tanked 20%. But TVL is reasonable for the menace chain. If this goes up to 1 million, clearly this APR will continue to go down. Do keep that in mind. Don't throw $1 million in here. You will destroy the APR and will have wasted a bunch of money. So, medium, small investments are fine here. Large investments, you're just going to ruin it for yourself and everyone else. Beefy. So on Beefy, you can see this solidly is making a comeback, trying to do, look at that TVL. This is ridiculous. Why is this even here? This is just so silly. But I don't know. Don't ignore this one, right? TVL is too low to take this seriously. The first one I would take seriously is the Tri-Solaris one, because Tri-Solaris recently got incentives in the form of USN. This 20% APY is relatively reasonable. It's probably going to go down to like 12 to 13%, honestly. But it's interesting, and they do have incentives boosting it right now, so that's pretty cool. But then, there's a lot of LPs that do consistently between 10 to 15% for months. So if that's sort of your range, check out the 10 to 15% LPs. Look at their historical data, right? Look at the past year and see how they've been doing. Okay, 16%, 14%, 13%. That's between 10 and 15. This is a good vault. I like LUSD. I like if that's your risk profile, and consider that. It's not bad. And Beefy does all the compounding work for you, so you're living the good life. Next, unknown. For whatever reason, not loading. I think it's because of the network. Let me switch to BSC. So unknown is effectively the convex of Cohn's curve, which I know is a bit confusing. So basically, this is just the place you get more rewards on LPs that have been voted on. Now, the APRs that are interesting, I think, in my opinion, are MDB plus, USD plus. I consider this high risk, though. USD plus and MDB plus are both yield aggregating stablecoins. MDB plus presumably backed by BUSD, though you only mint it against BNB. It's also partnered with EMP money and yield nodes, which I consider to be pretty risky protocols. Not bad protocols. Yield node's not even a protocol, but pretty high risk. So MDB kind of in that ecosystem, not a negative, but not necessarily a positive either. And so, take it for what you will. I think this is neat. I don't know if it would be within my risk appetite, but it's something to consider. It is backed or collateralized, so not uninteresting. And then my BUSD down here for about 12%. If you want to see what the next week's rewards are going to be, go to Kohn. You can check those out. Rubicon is on the optimistic Ethereum network, much like Pika. And they also are experiencing quite a bunch of optimistic Ethereum or OP incentives and rewards. So this protocol is basically it is an order book DEX, and the market makers are sometimes efficient, sometimes inefficient. When they're efficient, the base APR is positive. When they're inefficient, the base APR is negative. So there's a non-zero chance your initial in the denomination of your deposit goes down due to inefficient market making. But the rewards in OP should greatly overshadow any loss you make from inefficient market making. So there's that. Now, you can see 14% here, 16% there, and 21% on DAI. All of these things look pretty good to me. I would be interested in participating in this. Nice single side, but it is not without risk, right? Again, not without risk. So, if you want something that is a little bit less risky, also on the Optimistic Ethereum network, Hamora V2. Let's connect my wallet, because I'm pretty sure I'm on the Optimistic Ethereum network. But I'm not, right? I'm on Binance. Let's go back to OP. Look at all of my chains. Optimistic Ethereum. So with my 0.00077 ETH. So here you can see there are kind of interesting yields, not amazingly mind-blowingly interesting, but pretty good. So what this is lending stablecoins to be leveraged by the Uniswap v3 pools on optimistic Ethereum. And they're paying pretty well, right? Between 7 and 12-ish%. These are connected to the Iron Bank. And so, you are exposed to that, and you can do your own risk reward due diligence with that. Iron Bank has historically had some bad debt. However, they're still a very solid protocol, and the bad debt came from their Forex synthetics. But otherwise, with their major stables, they've been fine. So it's up to you, your own risk reward. I'm not going to tell you if it's safe or not. I'm just telling you that's what they're connected to, right? The rewards are connected to the Iron Bank. And then finally, we'll talk a little bit about Kamino. There's so many stablecoin plays on Solana that I could do probably 2 videos just on stablecoin plays in Solana. If you want to learn more, join the DeFi Dojo Discord. You get a month for free. You can go check out and see if I'm full of nonsense or if I'm not, and not pay a single dime, right? But anyways, Kamino is launched by Hubble, a team that I like, and basically what they do is they claim to have, we'll see how well it works, have created an automating, rebalancing, and restructuring protocol specifically for stable pairs that for concentrated liquidity on Orca. So Orca has concentrated liquidity, much like Uniswap v3. The issue was it was constantly unoptimized. So Kamino is an optimizer for the concentrated liquidity on Orca. You can see you're getting between 13% with USDC, USDT to up to 50% down here. These are full, right? These are all sort of beta test defaults. This is a newish product, and so there's only 500,000 TVL in these ones, and then 250,000. This is probably going to increase tomorrow-ish here. And then, of course, you're exposed to the peg of USH and USDH, USH being Hedge, USDH being Hubble's stablecoin. Both of these are sort of, they're over collateralized stablecoins that are used for liquidation collection effectively or claiming. Hedge and Hubble are very similar, but not forks of each other because they use different smart contracts and code. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I got for stables. There is so much more, but I'm already at 13 minutes. And again, I can't give you guys everything. I heard there are 2 rules to success, right? The first rule is don't tell people everything you know. So thanks for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.